house in Indianapolis, so I had to get myself dressed this
Oh,
morning.
well, I know how that
know.
is.
Tell her
Yeah, really.
she can't do that anymore on a Tuesday.
Okay, we have Clerk General first.
So moved?
Yes. And is there any add-ons to that, Tina?
I do, being the last meeting of the year. I have a resolution to approve the agreement with the Council on Aging of Southwest Ohio for both the administrative functions and the intake assessment and case management.
So moved?
Yes.
And I have a resolution to approve a budget adjustment within Human Services Fund 2204.
So moved?
And have you
Yes.
had an opportunity to review the requisitions?
I have, I'm okay with them.
Okay,
That's all that I have.
thank you.
That wasn't that bad.
No, no.
All right, so now we have a work session today, and
It's sort
who
of a-
wants to be presenting
It's,
it?
yeah. It was
Come on.
sort of a work session. I
All right.
asked if Susan and her team would just come over and share with the commissioners some of the work that they have been doing to meet the Christmas wishes of a lot of our children who are in the foster care system, so.
Okay, great.
This
Morning.
is Lisa Benton, and she's my compliance supervisor, and she also oversees all of our outreach programs. So we have a few of them during the year, just that we're trying to kind of get in the community, do kind of a positive messaging from child welfare, because that's not always what people see. So we want to make sure that we're out there, kind of giving those positive messages and support to families. We started the Christmas program probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and at that time, we had provided Christmas for about 45 kids. Fast forward to now, we had 680 this year. We actually only have 90 kids in custody, which is a huge difference from even the last few years. A lot of our referrals come from our partners, our community partners, mental health, juvenile court, Ohio Means Jobs. We will take referrals from any community partners where they see families that are in need. Lots of kinships, which we do work with a lot of kinship families outside of kids in custody, and we support them. So, like one example is a grandma, she has 10 children in her home. So all 10 children, full Christmas. Really what our mission is to, an example is someone that used to do this program for us said that when she was younger, her mother was a single parent. And a local church took her name to give her a gift. And when she got the gift on Christmas morning, it was one sweatshirt. And when she started the program, she said, I don't ever want to have a child wake up and have one sweatshirt underneath the tree. So it was kind of the mission of our agency to make sure that these children have those memories that we all kind of had for Christmas morning. And it's just grown. We're a little tired. We have a staff of less than 60. And we're just trying to really balance it right now to get all these gifts out. We've handled over 4,000 gifts that we've received for the children. They come unwrapped because we want to make sure that they're appropriate and that we make sure that they're supplemented in ways that children have positive experience. I know you have an example of one family.
We had a sister reach out just on Monday that her sister left a domestically violent situation and just took what they had, and they didn't have a way to provide Christmas, so we were able to do it.
And we have set a deadline usually at Thanksgiving, but we don't comply with that, which is a lot. But we bought Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Kids coming into care, our workers are out shopping, working lots of overtime to get it done, and it's
How
getting
many
done.
of your staff are involved in
Everybody,
this program? So
every single person. There's not one person on our staff that's not involved with getting it done and delivering gifts and taking referrals, reaching out, and actually donating. So, I mean, our staff and their own families are donating at times.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I was gonna ask is of all the gifts that you collect, what percentage of them you think come from your staff?
Small amount. It's the community. Warren County community, and this is one thing we've noticed with our outreach programs, is if we have an ask, this community doesn't just step up. It steps up and gives beyond what we've asked for, which can be overwhelming because we have so much. the generosity is just amazing. An example is even our PB&J drive we did this summer for the first time, where we went and handed out jars of peanut butter and jelly with bread to communities with resource information in the bags, of Imagination Library, of resources in the community. The amount, and we just did it on this campus. How many jars of peanut butter? Hundreds.
Hundreds.
And that was just on this Warren County campus that we asked for peanut butter and jelly. And we went to communities every week and handed out to camps, mostly to communities that have more of a need. And the outpour was just amazing. And it really speaks to Warren County.
Yeah, it definitely is a very generous community.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
love your intake form too, because it was nice for me as somebody who was purchasing gifts on behalf of families to kind of get to know the kids who I was purchasing for. And it allowed me to buy a few things that they needed.
Yes.
And a few things that they wanted.
Absolutely.
So I loved being able to make sure kids had coats and mittens, but to also be able to give them a couple of toys.
Yeah,
and
open a
stuff
Barbie
is-
dream house, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's exciting Christmas morning. It's things that you remember.
Well,
Yeah.
to know their favorite colors.
Yeah.
or
Oh, favorite
the- I
colors,
mean,
absolutely.
that is very helpful when,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
buying.
Well, how many children do we provide this to?
680 this year.
Okay, and
This is
they-
the highest number we've had.
And they're all within the county,
They're all Warren County children,
spread out all over the place, or
all
is
over the place.
it predominantly in any area?
I don't know the
everywhere.
answer to that, of where they're predominantly from, but we probably have it somewhere because we have addresses. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just about everywhere. We have a lot of children in need here in Lebanon, in Springboro. Franklin is, and like Carlisle, you know, this edge of Carlisle. So I think it's pretty spread.
What is the age range of the children?
Newborn to 18.
Yeah, I had one family who had, the boy was, I think, 4, and the daughter, was a sibling pair, was like 17, so.
That's what I had. I had a boy and a girl, 14 and, or 12 and 14. That's
Yeah.
what I had.
And then
I had a 13-year-old girl, and I think she was from the Mainville, Hamilton Township area.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you for doing it. I appreciate it. It's such, we really appreciate the support. I mean, we've gotten so many calls and emails for people to provide for the kids, and it's just really
Are there any
heartfelt.
needs you have in the next 72 hours?
Well, I think it's D-Day.
You're just trying to get everything out the door.
We're,
I would say no. I think we're covered. We've,
Yeah.
a lot of like caseworkers, when they have an hour, they'll come over and help. Our big push is to get the packages delivered by Christmas.
Yeah, we require
don't
that.
want anything
Yeah.
left, because the kids all deserve to have.
On Christmas.
we
Because
will,
it's
we will
Christmas
drive
morning.
3 hours. If a child
Yeah.
is placed out of county and they're in our custody, they can be placed 4 hours away. We will drive the gifts 4 hours to go get them to them by Christmas. Because we don't want them to receive them next year on the 6th of January. It's, you know, not the same. So we're really big about making sure those gifts are delivered before, Christmas morning. So, you know, we have therapists that are calling us and having families, and we provide for those. We've gotten big, but we're gonna figure this out for next year.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've sort of sensed, even in the 5 years where I've been here, I've like sensed this dramatic growth in the
Yes.
program. And so I just really wanted you to share with the commissioners
Yeah.
what you're doing, and to thank you and your team and.
Oh, we love it.
For it.
We want to have that positive impact, and we're really working on that the last few years of just doing these outreach programs, just because we want to be visible when we're not knocking on someone's door, you know, and be in the community in that way. And I think it's worked. And also working with our partners, because having those good relationships with community partners is really beneficial to us. And we've seen that this really helps.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No
Thank you so
problem.
much.
Thank you for having us.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, is there anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. No other?
Bruce,
business?
we're not being sued again or anything we need to go in executive session for? We've been on a run for a while.
Not
Not yet.
Is there anything further about the Stotler 2 matter or anything like that to report?
Yes, on Thursday, the Stotler 2 development presented yet a new plan to the RPC, and the RPC voted unanimously to deny it. The adjacent property where the boulevard entrance off of Foster Mainville Road, which is known as
I think you just muted it.
the apt property was presented, and it was unanimously denied. So those are two new updates.
Okay. So was this a plan for what property? It was for the actual Stotler 2 property?
It's the adjacent parcel to
Okay.
Stotler 2, and the developer's proposal was to develop a boulevard entrance through that property off of Foster Mainville Road.
So that was the attempt by the developer to try to comply with the wishes of Hamilton Township when they were, I guess, under the impression that there were absolutely sewer rights in the Stotler 2 project. Is that right?
That's a fair statement, yes.
Okay. And so they were following through with that, and that was denied because of,
They denied that one because of multiple subdivision regulations that required the developer to present documentation to simply even file an application, which the developer failed to do. And the subdivision regulation is very clear that they have to have some sort of confirmation from the township that the proposal met zoning, and on the adjacent parcel, they showed sewer density, and it's clearly outside the sewer improvement area boundary, and it had no prior applications and approvals which grandfathered it in any way. It had never been presented to the county as a development. Stotler 2 was also denied for the exact same reasons. They had no confirmation from the township that it met zoning, and it also failed to meet various access points. They sought waivers for some of those access points, and those were denied. That included the new plan eliminating any access to Mounts Road, which was the small rural road that was the original, or it's actually the only frontage that parcel has, the 171-acre parcel has. And by virtue of them eliminating that, and they did that because they thought the adjacent parcel would come in, would be developed, and their new entrance would come off of it, but it was denied. They basically landlocked the 171 acres. There's no access currently to it. So I don't know why they did what they did. And the commission was also concerned about why the developer still had not officially asked the county commissioners for access to sewer for the development of the property. And Mr. Campbell testified under oath that he had not made such a request. He testified under oath that they, as the developer, had in no way submitted anything to the sewer department in the way of request for information or construction plans or anything to move forward, and the Plan Commission was concerned with that. So they did have legitimate basis for the denial and cited in their vote the specific subdivision regulations upon which they denied it.
okay, and that occurred on what day, last Thursday?
Last Thursday, that's correct.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. Well, do you need a motion for
Yes,
adjournment?
I do.
So moved.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. We'll see
Thanks,
you,
team.
when is our next meeting?